or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening? Good evening. It is March 30th, Saturday late night show here at greencardguys.tv. I'm here to answer any of your questions. I just happen to be up doing some administrative work for the law firm. So, hey, why not jump on live with y'all and answer some questions, especially because the immigration fees are going up April 1st. So, hopefully, if you're ready, been preparing your package, that you already mailed it out to USCIS, so that'll be delivered before April 1st to take advantage of the current fees. Okay. Welcome to drop your questions in the comment section and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Of course, I'm on several different platforms here. Hope you're doing well tonight. It's basically midnight here in Texas, Central Time. I want to share some good news real quick, actually, if you don't mind. Again, kind of give you an insight to why you need a specific type of lawyer to help you all the way through. Okay. We had a client that I went to court in Dallas. I'm in Houston now. Flew to Dallas on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, the 28th. And it's a case that I've had since 2015. It's a long time. And usually immigration court cases take a long time. I would think that they're going to be sped up or more efficient, but that's just not how it works. I mean, that's the idealistic preference, but that doesn't work that way. So you need an attorney that's going to stick with you from start to finish. Okay. So let's say they charge you X amount 10 years ago. Are they going to try to find a way to charge you more in the future? Right. With the same case. Of course, if it's, I always try to find an analogy. For example, like if you hire a contractor or a subcontractor do some work at your house, you ask them to do a certain thing, and then you're like, I don't like that material. I want to try to change the style or something. The job can be different. The pricing can be different. Maybe not for labor, maybe for the material will be different. So that's the thing. Similar with immigration. If the strategy changes, so potentially can the cost because it depends on timing, depends on resources. Um, but in this situation, the strategy was always the same. Okay. Um, until the very end. But even then, we actually didn't charge more for it. We got the case dismissed from court. Thank goodness, right? It helped this client out because actually going through a marriage case, but he needed a waiver. So it wasn't a guarantee that he was going to get it dismissed. But this also included his sister. So we got his case dismissed or her case dismissed as well from court. But this case was from a client from 2015. We get a lot of calls from y'all and requests through our online form, and thank you for filling it out. But we get a lot of stories, unfortunately, where people have been, hate to say, but kicked to the curb, and they need the legal support to help them out, and they know they need the legal support. So it's of course easier just for us to pick up and go. We're happy to jump in at any point in the case, unless of course a deadline is like next week. Then that's different. But I want to give you an idea about that. Okay. Now, of course, keep asking some questions. Share your experience if you like on your respective platform. What's going on? Welcome to the show. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, helping you solve your immigration problem and maybe even preventing that problem from happening in the first place. All right, so what's up? If you are interested in talking with one of our premier attorneys, you can go to our bio page, okay, profile page, whatever you call it. Click the link, and you're going to be able to answer a few questions. I think it's like maybe 5 questions. Upload any documents. For example, if you've been denied before or recently, maybe you got a request for evidence or a notice of intent denied, which is they're all serious situations here. Okay, you want to go ahead and upload that so you can get the most appropriate advice as soon as possible. Okay, we make it easy for you to schedule appointment, but the deal is some of y'all don't provide everything we need to know, and it slows it down, right? I don't want to call it a waste of time for you for the first meeting, but it really makes sense to provide those documents. Okay, my team is always scrambling to try to get those documents from some of y'all, and it's like pulling teeth. So if you want the best advice or most appropriate advice, real time, please provide those documents. Okay. Other thing to know is that we do charge this amount as a hold fee. Okay. Um, there's been a couple bad apples in a sense that schedule a meeting, you self schedule. Okay. You don't even have to call in to schedule. And they don't show up. So it's a little bit defeating to my team because our mission is to help you live and work in America legally. Go figure, right? So if you don't show up, it takes away the limited spot from someone else who could have chatted with us sooner, and they have to back it up for 3 weeks, right? So just keep that in mind if you don't mind. Okay. So of course, but if you do show up, we're gonna refund it back. Okay. Just ask for it. All right. Welcome to the show. What's up? Alrighty. Alrighty. So let me answer some questions now. Let me scroll back up, or I guess down. Around TikTok, UK 123456. You expedite NVC wife is pregnant and is expecting interview around August. She'll be 6 months. Well, congrats. Okay, early congrats on the expected pregnancy. Now, why do you think your interview will happen around August? Okay, not to like burst your bubble or anything. Okay, I'm not trying to do that, but I recommend not making certain life decisions around an estimated date if you're making up that date or, you read blogs or trying to compare with other people. It's just really unpredictable. I mean, for me, y'all ask me, I would say average based on what people have been sharing, I would say 6 months. But does that mean 6 months at what point? Is it after you receive the email, documentary qualified? And even then, is that going to be 6 months for your specific situation? It's all up in the air, right? It's all just averages per se, or more so based on case experience as well and what y'all share. Okay, so because I hear people, make life decisions in terms of like selling their home or canceling their lease, break their lease. You just don't want to be in that situation, especially when your spouse is pregnant. But yes, you should definitely try to request expedite MVC through MVC, but pregnancy alone is not going to get you granted for that expedite request. I mean, it'd be great if you can, but I've heard and we've tried it. Pregnancy alone does not work, but try. If there's a knock on wood, unfortunately, if you're in this situation, well, maybe knock on wood is not the right reference in this situation, but I mean, we don't hope for anything negative in terms of medical concern, that kind of situation. But if there is a medical concern related to the pregnancy, you want to use that to your benefit to any extent possible and mention that in the request for expedite. Okay. Whether you're at the NVC stage or USCIS, step one or step two. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out a bit. If you are interested, we do have a free guide about requesting expedite request. Okay. I know it seems like I'm saying request multiple times. Hello, hello. Multani mail lady. What's up? Welcome to ask a question. Y'all don't have to say that you have a question. Just go ahead and share it or post it and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Zed boy, how long does it take for them to respond if you get your work permit for adjustment of status? Uh so I'm assuming you got the work permit already and now you're wondering how long it take for adjustment. There's no fine table or fine table, no black and white table on that. Unfortunately, it's more, if anything, it's more so based on timing of filing the case, not so much after the work permit. Okay, 2023 range was about 3 to 5 months for our case experience, but 2024 we just completed quarter one, so we still data is about the same, but can't say that for the rest of the year. What's up? Thanks for the follow. Thanks for subscribing. How y'all doing tonight? Late night show. Okay. Gonna respond to these questions, y'all's questions as soon as I can, as quickly as possible. Hey, Effie, good to see you again. You submit everything by March 20th, delivered March 21st. That's great. When do I think? Oop. Let me find your follow-up comment there. Are you talking about receipt notice? About 3 to 6 weeks, 3 to 5 months. I'm sorry, 3 to 5 weeks. If you're talking about the receipt notice. Hey, just stumble upon. I'm just not swiping, just going up and down trying to find Effie's follow-up comment if he was still on. Cynthia, hey Cynthia, nice to see you again. How are you doing? Yeah, that was a case on Thursday. If you're still on, got that case dismissed. Raising the roof with myself. Alrighty, how y'all doing tonight? Uh-huh. This is what I love to do. I don't go out to the bars and drink anymore. Just hanging out TikTok with y'all. All right. A lot of great questions here. Thank you so much for your trust. And y'all, don't worry. Even if you have your own lawyer right now, that's cool. This is, of course, I have to tell you, this is legal information. This is not legal advice. If you want legal advice specific to your situation, you do need to schedule a meeting with an immigration attorney one on one. That's what I'm supposed to tell you through my state bar. All right, Dree Glazer on YouTube. What's going on? Hello, you're in the U.S. on F1 with your, and your dad has UVS is a UVS applicant. Your mom and brother are applying B2 visa to attend your graduation event. Okay, congrats on graduating soon. How to tackle interview question when asked about your dad? Um, just say they're aware of it, but you're really there. They're really coming only for the what do you call that? For your graduation, which is the honest truth. And of course, bring a copy of have them ask them to bring a copy of your your what do you call it? Save the date of your graduation ceremony, um, where they're staying, things like that. Which I'm assuming with you, maybe. Well, you're in college or university, so maybe there's not enough space. But in reality, just being a U visa applicant is not enough, really, at the end of the day, for someone to stay. But just expect, yeah, they would be aware of it. I would think that the United States government has their shit together to know all other family members that are in the US. And plus, it would probably be on their application on the DS 160 because you're supposed to tell them any and all family members in the United States. Alrighty. Okay, so looks like I missed one here. Oh, what's going on? All right. Okay, my name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, helping you solve your immigration problem and maybe prevent that problem from happening in the first place. Oh, my Chantel. So you got your work permit and you went to the DMV to get a state ID, and they have said that you have to wait for your GC. Um, yeah, it shouldn't be that way, but it likely is state dependent. But I haven't heard that, right? So what state are you in? Let me see if I can look it up real quick. Sometimes, depending on the state, the Department of DMV has a pretty good um, what do you call it, like PDF or something section in a website that will mention what notices they need or proof they need to get that driver license. Okay, and Typically, work permit is enough, or at least a 797 approval notice. Hey, what's going on, Ifiko? Ifiko Daisy? Um, no, I don't review every case, uh, but I'm happy to review yours. The people you call in, by the way, they're a cares team when you talk to them initially, but the initial people you talk to on the phone, they don't work on the legal case. So please don't think that every single person you talk to in a law firm is on a legal team. Okay, so we break it down. But thank you so much for your trust. The Yeah, to be honest, I'm not able to look at every single case. Just to be transparent, that's just impossible. Okay, because there's so many cases. But I'm happy to look at yours. And I know you have a deadline coming up next week. I talk with my legal team. I talk to my attorneys. We talk at least 3 days a week about cases. So, but no, the first person you talk to on the phone is not a legal assistant. They're our cares team. So I hope that makes sense. So they're not working on. They do help share information to our paralegals that who we call client advocates and our attorneys. So I hope that helps. Okay. Um, but I do know that you've scheduled several meetings, so I hope that's been helping out. Okay. But thank you for using this platform to for sharing any concerns. And I am also aware of other details of your case. So, of course, I'm not going to share that here. That's confidential. All right. But email is the best. If you want to reach me, I also get tagged on any emails we share. By the way, for folks who are considering to hire a lawyer, for us, we share one email inbox, one for our cares team and one for our attorneys. So I also don't review every single email. I get tagged in them by my team if they want me to review it. Okay. But no one likes to, none of us, we're all humans. We don't like, of course, we're humans. We are humans. We don't like checking email. But hey, when it comes to your legal case, please check your email because some people don't even answer the phone and we're like, hey, client, you gotta pick up your phone or respond to our emails. It's pulling teeth sometimes. So Efiko, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much for being responsive. Because we need to, of course, file your case before the deadline. Very important. Which to assure you, we do set that up on our calendar, our deadlines, and an internal deadline to file it in advance. Okay, that's our goal. So thank you for uploading all those documents as well. We get notifications of that in the email box. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Let's see. UK, you've been DQ'd for 1 year and 3 months. I see. That is a long time. And is your spouse in the UK? All right, y'all. My apologies. I'm not trying to skip around here. I'm just going platform to platform here. And I get a little confused because some people copy and paste the comments, so throws me off a bit. Let's see here. Okay, I think I'm back on track. What state do I practice in? I'm in Texas. The state of Texas. I know some of y'all don't like our politics. Some of y'all love our politics. It's kind of wild here. Um, but I'm in Texas. We accept clients in all over the world. Thankfully, with Zoom and all that video conference, makes it a lot easier. Hey, Martin, YouTube. I'm not sure if I understand what your question means. Do I know what U.S. Embassy in Manila known for during consular processing? I don't know what you mean known for. Can you clarify that one? Jeremiah, what is I-765 time frame? If you're talking about AOS, adjustment of status based on marriage, because it all varies. It varies depending on your category. If you're C9, it's about on average 5 months. I mean, I'm not looking at the processing timetable, but I usually try to. Prince, what's up with you sharing a GoFundMe? I can't even click that. Can I even click that link? I don't think so. If I click, yeah, it won't let me click the link. Um, Emmanuel, your marriage green card RFE was only medical since November 7th. You haven't heard anything. Okay, folks. So Emmanuel has this concern, which many of y'all have this concern where you responded to RFE, a formal request for evidence, and you haven't heard anything for several months. And for you, November 7th, that was 5 months ago, at least, right? Yeah, about 5 months. So unfortunately, there's no set timing on when to sue the government based on that fact, but we filed a lawsuit based on the receipt date. So for us, we filed a lawsuit, mandamus lawsuit for AOS based on 18 months. So, but November 7th, that doesn't indicate to me like when your receipt day was. So let me know if I in the comments below if I can get to that. Coco, should you apply for Advanced Pro as well as I-130 and work pro authorization from Greece? Hey, what's up? Coco, yeah, if it's adjustment status, we apply for everything. I mean, that was before April 1st, before the fee increase, because now they're charging for every single form. So, of course, with clients, we still recommend applying for work advanced parole and, of course, a work permit, just because you never know, especially if you have family abroad. I mean, you never know if you have to visit them. Okay, you may have to visit them, and you just never know health reasons. And if something happens to a family member abroad, and then you apply for advanced parole, thinking, oh, like you provide proof of it, like you're gonna get approved like next month or next week. No, that's not how it works. Okay, so that's why we recommend, look, if you're applying for adjustment status, you might as well just apply all at once, even though the fees are going up. Martin, are they slower or faster? Oh, okay. Slower, unfortunately. Someone commented the other day. I don't know, was that you or someone else that I guess the whole slew of people were issued interview dates or something. I don't know if that was you, but your name seems familiar from a couple days ago. But yeah, generally slower, just because, at least more so because Manila Embassy has a lot of applicants, a lot, and I'm sure you're familiar with the Visa Bulletin. That will give you a pretty good indication. Mello, your EAD was approved Jan 19, but you still haven't received the card, and they don't answer inquiries. Okay, inquiry meaning you submitted the one online, USCS.gov. Um, hmm. They didn't respond to you at all? Well, that's nuts. If you called in, then try online. But I'm going to make the assumption. By the way, folks, if you check online that your receipt date allows you to um, submit an inquiry, submit that inquiry online. Don't waste your time calling in because it's like they're just asking for info that you could just copy and paste into the system. Okay. Oh my Chantel. Okay, I did respond to your comment earlier. Maybe you did comment down below. You user 1839. How do you get your ex deported? Look, our mission. I don't know what your ex did. I'm assuming something really bad. But our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. So all I can tell you really is go to ice.gov. I don't know anything more than that. Okay. I wish you all the best. Hey, Martin. Okay. You heard about expedited approval from NVC to US Embassy. I don't even know I, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, that sounded familiar to what you said last time then. I don't know what expedited approval means. Never heard of that. Um, maybe it was just documentary qualified, something like that. Um, and where did you hear that, in a Facebook group or something? Because the terminology is, it's pretty specific. The terms that we use. So, but I'll check my message boards with attorneys and see if a phrase like that popped up, expedited approval. Because when expedited approval, when you use that phrase, it makes me think like, oh, interviews waived, but that I would think is not going to happen. But I could be wrong. That would be great for y'all if interviews are waived. Do-do-do-do-do. Hey, Edgar and Dahlia on TikTok. You just got your 601 returned due to incorrect fees, but you sent the correct fees. Oh, bastards. The fee increases April 1st. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I've heard that from a couple attorneys too. That's super frustrating. So yeah, that's why in our cover letters or letters to the USCS that's on top of the package, we mentioned do not effing reject our case because it was mailed before April 1st, and we provide them the tracking number. So there's should be absolutely no excuse. So praying to God they don't reject our cases. I mean, we'll turn around and file it, but I don't, I don't, the whole point of like working diligently faster, um, is to make in this situation so it doesn't get rejected because of that reason. But let me see if I can pull up my document that I created, see what the fee increase for the 601. Now I'm kind of interested. There we go. Oh, okay. So you're gonna have to pay 1,050, okay, Edgar and Dahlia. Unfortunately, instead of the 930, it'll be 1,050. So that's about $1,020 more, if my math is correct. Alrighty. Oh my Chantel and Martin got the good idea. If you there's a lot of comments on TikTok, which I greatly appreciate it, but if you want to definitely get my attention, I don't get as many comments or questions on YouTube or Facebook, so that's really the best way. I mean, you already got my attention from TikTok, but let's see what your comment is here. The same thing, right? Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, that's best because yeah, TikTok you can't like consolidate the comments. State is Utah. Okay, well let's hop in here and see what we get from Utah. Utah, DMV. Um, let's see if that works. Let's pop that in. You met all the requirements on a DMV PDF for the limited state ID. Well, what the hell did they tell you? That you just have to wait for the GC? That's ridiculous. So here's the trick I tell people. Go to a different clerk. Talk to someone else. Maybe not the same day. I know. I mean, or honestly, just freaking ask for the manager. Do what Americans do. Ask for the manager. Don't be shy. Because that DMV, if it's anything like Texas, traditionally it's slow. It takes a long time wait line. The one I went to a couple weeks ago was actually better. You set up a what do you call appointment, you pull a ticket. It was a lot more organized. But I remember back in the day, it was not organized. It was like jam packed. So if you say you meet all the requirements, I'm looking here right now. Utah is a bit strange. I'm not gonna say why, but I think you know what I'm talking about. All right, temporary permit. No, that's not it. Okay. Okay, required. Oh, I see. Okay, limited license. I see what you're talking about. Let me see if I can share my screen. All right, if you're all on TikTok and you're wondering like what the hell is John sharing looking at, then I'm looking. I pulled up for Chantel here, Oma Chantel, the Utah State DPS, Department of Public Safety. Some states, similar department is called the Department of Motor Vehicle. Um, Stay on. If you ask a question on TikTok, stay on. I'll try to answer as many as I can in 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm at this website here, right? Almost tell me if I'm wrong here, but I'm going to click on regular limited license. Well, that was interesting. Requirements. Okay, that's not that helpful. Doesn't actually mention anything about immigration status. Let me click menu again. Okay, there it is. Oh, I see why they hit it because it's driver education. What? FAQs. Let's go there. Driver license FAQs. Am I going to the right spot, Chantel? Okay. Maybe it's this required documentation. All right, all right. Let's hop on over to this other page. Man, it looks small on your screen. Okay, let me enlarge that. Okay, here's the brochure. Probably one you're referring to. All right, let's like that. Make that larger again. There we go. Okay, I'm looking at this PDF. Required documents to obtain a Utah license or ID card. Let's okay. Here's the middle section. Identity, lawful status verification. Okay, obviously assuming you're not a citizen. Then we go to okay. You don't have a green card right now. You don't have a permanent resident card or conditional permanent resident card. You don't have certificate of naturalization, certificate of citizenship. So let's keep going down. Um. Okay, that is not helpful. Okay, let's go down. Okay, here we go. If you're in the United States with a lawful status but not a US citizen or a permanent resident, you must provide the following documentation. Okay, and it says okay, unexpired foreign passport with a valid visa. Uh, Technically maybe you could have overstayed, right? So you don't have that. Uh Pending or approved application for asylum. Oh, that's interesting. That's good to know. Pending or approved application for TPS, approved deferred action, or pending application for adjustment of status to that of a legal permanent resident. Well, so far I'd say you're good to go, Chantel. Print this sucker out, give him page 2, and say, "Give me the freaking driver license, the limited one." Of course, in the as nice way as possible. Yeah, second page. Yep, found it. Yeah, it says pending. It doesn't even say anything about work permit. So, yeah, talk to a manager if the next tier one person gives you a hard time. Okay, yeah, take this page with them too or with you. Okay, good luck. Looks good to me. Not that I'm like the authority on this stuff, but happy to look at it with y'all if you have a similar situation. Pranav, what are the chances of Form 290B being accepted? I don't know what you mean accepted. Do you mean approved? In terms of like overturned? I don't know. I don't know your situation. I need more facts. So this is a good 290B. Anytime you need to file a motion to reconsider or reopen, you definitely it's just too much to go through on a live show like this. So you definitely want to schedule a meeting. Pretty it's it, you the first person you're going to talk to, by the way, is not an attorney. Typically, it's not. It's going to be our cares team member. They are not attorneys. They ask certain information that I've trained them every day. They're probably tired of listening to me, but train them every day. Um, but yeah. Okay, so hopefully that helps. But yeah, you're gonna get pre-qualified to speak to one of our attorneys at no cost to you. But we do charge this amount as a hold fee. Okay, you show up, we refund it. You don't show up, we keep it. That's the purpose of it. Just like a hotel. Okay, Mello. Okay, I answered your question earlier. Shivani Krishna. Can I say why processing times change all the time? It was 3 months, then back to 6. Okay. All right. So if you've been in a situation like Shivani here, and you're wondering, like, oh, on my USCS account, it says like, oh, processing the next thing, I don't even know what it says. I just go based on what y'all tell me because it doesn't show on our side. But let's say it says like next step is expected in 3 weeks time or 6 months. It's not accurate, folks. I've called into USCS when I talked to Tier 1 asking about our client situation, our own clients' cases. I usually at the end, just to kind of chat them up a bit. You typically ask this question like, "Hey, what's going on with this my USCIS account?" They're like, "Yeah, attorneys can't see it," and they feel bad because those tier one officers get all or representatives get all these questions, similar question. Like it's a waste of time for them to answer because if they just, I bet if those tier one representatives had any power, they would probably put on the USCS.gov page to say do not pay attention to, and it'll just be scrolling. Do not pay attention to the expected processing time on your account or the next step because it's not accurate. Yes, we are a world superpower, but we can't get our shit together, figure out workflow to update y'all to give you at least give you all an idea. Even if they just told you, hey, in 2024, quarter one, this is actually what's going on. Okay. But no, they don't. It's not accurate. Okay, so don't stress over it. I know a lot of y'all are stressing about it, frustrated. Please don't. If anything, focus on if there's any processing time chart you're going to follow, it's the one on the USCIS.gov, not your my USCIS account. That's right. That's right. Call the geek. Interview times depend on the field office ultimately in the service center. Yep. Which they made an announcement. USCIS made an announcement. They are trying to streamline it. So at least for the 485, if I recall, it's no longer going to a service center. It's going to a lockbox. So the purpose of that is so that the first location that your case gets mailed to, the personnel there, the USCIS personnel, are going to scan it. Go figure. Can't we just scan it to them? Scan an email to them? But whatever. So they scan it, and then at some point, the next step is they didn't specify actually, not quite yet. We'll go to the next office, basically. Okay. User 1838. Your ex was cheating on you. How do you get him deported? Sorry, we just go to ice.gov. I can't, not able to share anything more than that because I don't know more than that. You already submitted your medical RFE to USCIS instead of responding. USCIS misprinted that notice was returned. I don't know what you mean by misprinted. Misstated, I guess. Did your medical get there at least? Medical exam in a sealed envelope? Okay. All right. How y'all doing? All right. I'm going to try to stay on for about 10 more minutes. I know I got some questions on YouTube, so let me hop over there. Yes, Chantel, I do see that now. I see what you're saying. For identity purposes, but not proof of the legal or lawful presence, because of course, work permit is not technically lawful presence. Hmm. So they want the physical card. So I would just tell the clerk that or whoever you talk to at that office that your approval notice is technically the same thing, that it's valid and not expired. But I can see why. Well, I can see why they're saying they probably need the card because that card is specifically for identity. So basically, a photo ID, and your approval notice doesn't have a photo on it. I know that's ridiculous. That's kind of that's kind of nuts. So hopefully, you get your card soon. Alrighty. Stick with me here, okay, folks? I know you got some questions here. I'll try my best to answer. But if for some reason you're tired like I am, then I get it. Then go ahead and before you hop off, follow, okay, above or below, wherever it shows up, and then go to my profile picture up right below it. If you want your questions answered, maybe you already know you need a lawyer. Maybe you're a little iffy, but you're a pretty good idea. You just need to at least talk to a lawyer, point you in the right direction. We're happy to guide you to the extent that we can. I mean, to be just upfront, if you're gonna schedule a meeting to ask like what goes in a form, unfortunately, we can't help with that. But if you're stuck, if you're actually stuck, we can guide you, point you in the right direction. Okay, but we can't because actually, like telling you what to put in the form, that's basically representation. So just kind of give you an idea. Some people don't know that, so because maybe you haven't hired a lawyer before, and that's totally okay. Letting you know now. Alrighty, Stella Bella. Marriage-based case, 751 pending, and N400 interview scheduled. Wonderful. What should you do? Also take your spouse? Hell yeah, just in case. Um, um, well, have your spouse wait in the interview, not the interview room, the lobby. Okay, like for example, Dallas is upstairs. Um, it's like after security, where Houston is all one floor, and so it's all the same in that sense. Um, But yeah, just in case. But you got to keep in mind, hopefully you've updated when you filed Stella Bella, your N400, that you updated them that you have a 751 pending. I know it's strange to mention that, but hopefully they have that 751 file with your N400 because I've heard some people say, hey, I don't have the 751 file, so we're going to have to reschedule you. And that's frustrating. So that could happen. Okay. Just want to let you know. Okay, another 751 question. Rizwan, divorce done while 751 pending. Do you have to notify USCS of this update? If yes, new form. I mean, you could try to mail in the divorce order, a copy of it, not original, not a certified copy. You don't have to, just a photocopy in general. Okay. It can be the photocopy of the certified, if that makes sense. Okay, meaning like if there's some kind of steel or seal, not steel, seal, or of course, and definitely a judge's signature. Okay, on the last, typically it's the last page. Okay, for the order. Um, and hopefully, Rizwan, you're already check marked either hardship or what's it called? Divorced. Okay. If you did not, then yeah, you would need to submit a new form, 751. All right, let me switch back over here. Alrighty. If you're just now joining, welcome. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, helping you solve your immigration problem or maybe preventing that problem from happening in the first place. Thanks for the follow, folks. Okay. Avi, what you mean accidentally? What if I accidentally get deported even though you're a US citizen? I don't know. I need to know more details. Um, is there a way to prove that you're a US citizen? Do you have a passport? Usually when something like that happens, some of y'all don't have a US passport or what do you call that? Like a certificate of naturalization. So, but that's strange that they don't give you the time of day. You get deported, like you're at the border, or you at the airport. I'm kind of interested in this. Let me know. That's ridiculous that they did that. Sometimes the attorneys with DHS I remember at least one time they were talking about even my client's like grandmother or something. So they're like really looking into it, but maybe they don't have that much detail on every single person, of course. Sorry that you had that happen to you. SP Love, you filed for your husband. He got a temporary. What do you get temporary? The green card is what you mean? The conditional card? If you get divorced, is he still eligible? What? Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. But if you're talking about the conditional resident card that he got, and you get divorced, is he still eligible to remove those conditions? Yes, it is possible for him to. He is allowed the opportunity to remove those conditions because on that 751 application, it does have a couple options. You know, you're filing jointly together, kind of like taxes, which I do need to share tips on that, or based on hardship, or third one, divorced. Okay, hopefully that helps you out a bit. Stella, wonderful. Glad you provide that extension letter. Soccer lovers. I-130 approved as you're married to a U.S. citizen. You want to file for VAWA? Okay. But you're not sure how the adjustment of status will be. You are in removal proceedings. You enter the country with J1 with 2 years required. Okay. So let's talk about that. Okay. I'm not going to be able to go through every single detail because there's a lot of layers to talk about. Soccer lovers on YouTube. Um, but since you're in removal proceedings, there's a couple options. Okay. You can file for VAWA, I-360, provide a copy to the government attorney, the Department of Homeland Security, ask them if they can join a motion to get it dismissed. We've had that happen successfully, and then the judge ended up signing it. But I wouldn't like if your court hearing is coming up soon and you have not filed your I-360, it's going to make it more difficult, right? Because they want to see something on paper. So you might not have like if let's say your court hearing is like next week, let's say Thursday, but you're about to file the application. You're obviously not going to get the receipt notice that quickly because it takes like 2 to 5 weeks. Okay, basically up to 30 days on average. But if you're in that kind of situation, then you definitely want to provide a copy of your I-360. Okay. Um, but yeah, hopefully so you can do all that Avava even though your I-130 has been approved. Sounds like maybe he's been holding up your 485 if you only said your I-130 was approved. Um, what's going on? Okay. There's been a lot of comments about, people filing for VAWA, getting divorced, separated. You got to do what you got to do to get out of that situation to make sure you're safe. Absolutely. Don't stick around that relationship if it's toxic, okay? Life is short. Okay. Leah T on TikTok. I don't know if some of y'all are still on because it's so late, but I'll answer anyway. They said that since January 19th, they are reviewing your case when you think they think what? They with talk back? Um, oh, when do I think they're going to respond? Okay. Um, I have no idea. I have no idea. January 19th reviewing case. Oh, because your status is just actively reviewing case. And if it's still saying that, then they're not actively reviewing a case, but because they're not actively reviewing a case since the last 2 months, 2.5 months. That's just not realistic. Okay. I'm sure there's at least one day out of those 2 months that that did review your case. But even then, I don't even know when you filed your case because you said that status update was January 19th. But when did that you file your case and where you're located? because processing times definitely are dependent on where your case is located right now. Homom on YouTube, you have a pending TPS and EAD application for 7 months now. Yikes, 7 months. Your fellow friends got their EAD in the first month. What can you do? I would try to submit a inquiry if hopefully you're allowed to. Thus far, um, try to do that first because 7 months is probably still too early for a lawsuit. So try the inquiry again. That's really the only other option. Otherwise, if it gets to 12 months, then we gotta file a lawsuit. Okay, home mom. But hopefully you don't need to. Hopefully y'all don't need to hire for that. But we're here if you need it. Okay, folks. Welcome, welcome to the show, Esther. You're a student and you gave birth and missed school for more than 5 months and missed biometrics. Well, first, congratulations on your birth. Okay, absolutely important. You're still in school though. When you say you're a student, are you F1? Um, Missing biometrics. See if you can call into USCIS. See if you can get that biometrics rescheduled. At the end of the day, like whether it's you missed it or you're trying to get an earlier date for biometrics, we usually just advise like clients just go to the location early in the morning, like 8 a.m. your time, central, your or whatever time zone you're in, and just see if you can pop in. Just say, hey, sorry, I missed my biometrics. So fortunately, no one's ever told me that the biometrics office is strict. But since you missed yours, it doesn't hurt to call in. I think I memorized the number 1-800. Oh, no, I forgot it. Okay. Because it's so late in the night. Let's see if I can find it. Live assistance. 1-800-375-5283. Okay, that's a USCS number. And to submit inquiry, let's see. USCS inquiry. I wonder if they have one for missed biometrics. I don't think so. Inquiry. Okay. Let's see if it'll take me there. E request is what they call it. Online request. Appointment accommodation? No, that's for interviews. Okay, let's see. Unfortunately, online request, e-request, they don't have one specific to missed biometrics. Man Pros on TikTok. Hello, sir. If someone is pending asylum and wins a DV lottery, can a person adjust status? That's an interesting one. Because in general, if you are in the US and you want to file 45, you need to show that you've maintained status. And unfortunately, pending asylum is not status. It's just a pending application. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. Yeah. Um, but you don't want to wait around, okay? If you want to try it, this is just me not having done any research on it, but we're happy to do that if you set up a meeting. Um, hmm. Yeah, because you definitely don't want a consular. If you consular process, then you need to get a what do you call apply for advanced parole if you can get that approved as a way to get back in the country. And of course, you have to have that interview in a different country. We call that TCN, third country national. So have the interview in a different country. Um, but if you can get adjusted, meaning in the United States, get your green card for you and pending asylum, that'd be great. Let me know how that works. Otherwise, we'll happy to do more research for you. Um, all right, hopefully that helps you out a bit. Hey, Chantel, I just now seeing the roses. Appreciate it. Hey, Leah T on TikTok. I usually check online, but on the show, but I'm trying to go through all these quickly. So, folks, if you're asking me processing times, I'm not going to check anymore because it's so late right now. But as far as I remember, F2A was like I think pretty sure 2020, at least for chart A. Hey Jamie, what's up? Marriage based? Did I answer your question on? Was that you on? What's it called? On YouTube? Sounds like a very similar question, but so I'm gonna skip it. Sorry. Oh yeah, it looks like a copy and paste. By the way, if you're wondering where I'm at, I'm in Houston, Texas, and yes, we do have a physical office in Houston, Texas. We're not a virtual attorney, if that's because a lot of attorneys on social media tell y'all that they're virtual attorneys, so they don't have a physical office. Hey Rafa, let's see. You submitted I-130 in 2030. Geez, family preference F4, received in 2009. Case approved 2020. Is it a matter of time? I need to keep checking Visa Bulletin. Yeah, I mean, what is this? You gotta check chart B first, unless you've uploaded the document, your sponsor uploaded those documents. But yeah, I would check at least once a year until you get closer to at least chart B. Chart A is more about when the visa is available. Chart B for people who are abroad, that is a decent indication when you can upload certain documents from your sponsor. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you so much for the questions. Just gonna be upfront with y'all. I am likely not gonna be able to answer all the questions. Hey, Sarah Whiskey, what's up? Good to see you back. Dumpling, you must love dumplings. So if I'm not able to answer your questions, please welcome to join the live again. I'm usually live during the day. I cannot promise to go live late night like this. Um, I was more so doing it because of the fees increasing, but I'll try to hop on at night at least once a week for y'all. Jacob here has a pretty broad question. How do you start the immigration process? I would have so many questions. So if you have a question like that and just want to know more information about certain topic, and you might not have a very specific question, that's okay. Just DM us on your respective platform. Let us know what your topic or general question is, and mention the word webinar. Okay, so we're gonna make a list of certain webinars just so we can dedicate time for that kind of topic. Okay. Absolutely, Rafa. Happy to help. Which go ahead, folks. Go ahead to subscribe or follow on your respective platform because I usually provide way more info. It's just pretty late, so it's hard for me to go back and forth on the screens now. Okay, JQC Health Fit. Good to see you back. I think you're in the H Town, if my memory serves me correct. Can you count your physical residency in the U.S.? You lost count since you went overseas. You often you just got back 2 months ago, but you want to be a citizen next year. I think your prior questions were related to this. Foya is taking too long. Why are you asking for Foya? Foya on what? Your time in the US? I don't think Foya is the right thing if that's what your goal is to find out how much time you're in the US. I would just use your flight itinerary. I've had at least one client and she told me that she deleted every email. Like she reads it and delete. I'm like, that's pretty amazing. I don't recommend that. I mean, yeah, for spam email, but archive it. Okay. Um, hmm. Hopefully, JQC, you can look at your, if not itinerary, the worst case scenario is a passport. Hope maybe it has some dates stamped to some extent. If not that, then hmm, yeah, you have to backtrack. If like you booked a flight on AA.com or Southwest.com, you have to you have to check all that. I wonder what you filed for FOIA. Was it for this reason or something else? Let me just read your other comment here. Uh, hmm. How much to go to our office? I think it's. I think my team increased it. I think it's two for at least 30 minutes for especially a scenario like this to review that. Um, yeah, because even if you had the strategy session at no cost to you, we wouldn't review it like that. That's actually like doing work on your case. Um, but yeah, I can see, especially if you've traveled many times, then that'd be difficult to keep track. Um, Sounds like we need some more context while you want to become a citizen fast. Maybe you want to sponsor someone. Happy to take a look. Okay, our team is. You haven't road dog. You haven't been approved for marriage visa in what? I think I saw your comment the other day. 4.5 years. You already did interview, fraud, home visit. Yeah, you need to you. Okay, folks. If you had a site visit and your case is taking a long time, especially like over 2 years, you definitely should file a lawsuit. But you need to be ready for RFE or notice of intent deny. We've had some clients, we're pretty thorough, but now we have to be even more thorough with our lawsuit cases in the very beginning. And we've asked people, like, hey, did you get an RFE? Did you get a notice of intent deny? But you know what? There most times we haven't asked, did you have a site visit? So yeah, we had at least one client that didn't tell us that would have been nice because then we can prepare you on your mindset. Um, because anytime there's a site visit, it's likely going to result in a notice of intent to deny or a request for evidence. Okay, because they don't do site visits for like even 50% of cases. I would think they don't. That would be pretty nuts if they did. That would be nice if they just show up to your house thinking like, oh, they're gonna try to verify it was like a fraudulent marriage or not, fraudulent case, and they come out like, no, you guys proved me right at your home, so I'm gonna prove you on the spot. That would be nice. Might as well, right? Why wait? Hey, dumpling. Um, After you filed N 400, you got a speeding ticket. I mean, I got two, and when I was in high school in the same week. Yeah, that's my story. It was annoying. I was trying to get back to class from lunch. Was one of them. Can't remember the other situation, but dumpling, you do need to update them. It's even though it's speeding ticket citation, you do want to let them know. So bring a copy of your receipt or whatever the citation is, assuming you paid for it, bring that as well. Okay. But ultimately those officers don't care about it. You just need to be able to confidently tell them about it. Okay. But in general, that's violations are not a crime, so that's a good thing, of course. Um, Crime to the extent that it's going to affect your case is what I mean. But transparency is very important. All right, all righty. Let's see here. How y'all doing? Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the questions. Coco, how can you get in touch for legal questions, legal advice? Yeah, so you can go to our profile page on a respective platform down on TikTok's up or down, um, at the very least up top, and just click on my when you go to my profile picture or whatnot, click on the link below it, and then it's going to take you to a form, a short form, maybe like 5 questions, I believe. If you have any documents to upload, welcome to do that. Save you some time. And then um, it's going to redirect you to a page to pay this amount as a like a reservation hold, I guess you could say, kind of like a hotel when you show up in person. And I don't like doing it, but we have to now as a business because some people have not shown up, and we have limited spots for this. So to point you in the right direction, yeah. So if you show up, then we refund it. Just ask. All right. You have to ask. If you don't show up, then that's the point of that reservation fee. All right, all right. What time is it? Oh my goodness, almost 1 a.m. Central Time. Can your spouse visa interview be denied? Was that your first comment? Because I don't have other facts. I need more information. Marie, if you receive a deportation letter but you can't go back to your country, can you still do something? Um, so you basically, I mean, okay, you got to order removal now. Technically, you got to stay those 10 years outside America, even if it's not your country. It could be a different country. Okay. Like if someone's from Mexico, then technically they can go to Canada, right? Um, I heard that's actually easier to get a visa in Canada than America. And if you need a referral, especially if you are referral to an immigration attorney in Canada, licensed in Canada, and you're in a situation like you got laid off or something and you don't want to overstay, and the overstay doesn't make sense in your particular situation, you can what's it called? You can ask me for those referrals, okay? Because some situations you don't most situations you don't want to overstay if there's no game plan, of course, in the future. Hey, 1313. After VAWA approval, how long to get a green card? Assuming you file the 485 at the same time, I would say at least 40, I mean, 3 years. Otherwise, 1 year if you didn't file the 485 at the same time. Claire asked, any idea about 290B processing times for F3 AOS? Mm, no, 290B does not have processing times, folks. 290B does not have processing time. Why am I sharing this and repeating it? Because if you don't have a lawyer, then you need to know this. The strategy can be different because 290B takes a long time. It could take several years. Sometimes, fortunately for us, we've got it in like 2 months, 3 months, but generally they take a hell of a long time, like more than a year. So in some scenarios, it makes better sense as a legal strategy to refile the original case, like 485, for example, like you said, AOS. Just depends. Everyone's situation is different. Raja Kama on Instagram. Can a marriage-based green card case be denied? If yes, can I share an example? Absolutely, happy to share. Yeah, if someone lies, that's the number one. And you would think like you would think most people would not lie, but that happens. Maybe if someone entered without documentation and then left, re-entered, and then is able to, or was it whether or not entered the United States with or without a visa, but then got deported somehow, and of course didn't share that with us. That happened one time with us, and they didn't share the truth with our office or me. Unfortunately, he was eligible for a waiver. We got it done in 30 days or less. Got approved in less than 6 months. Oh my goodness, folks, you don't want to lie. Okay, so that leads me to share this. Don't into a marriage that's fake. Just don't do it. Okay. I did a video about this a couple weeks ago. Some people commented like, well, I have several. They said that several of their friends got approved, and that's that kind of situation, just don't do it. I don't recommend it. Even if you heard of other people doing that, because this is a permanent bar. You don't want to deal with that. And even if you didn't pay them, like it's your friend, but your friend doesn't end up actually going to the interview, for example. It's like, yo, I'm busy. That would be ridiculous if your friend said that. You're like, yo, I gotta go work. They gotta go work, or they gotta go to the bowling alley, the pool hall, and they're like, no, I ain't going to the interview. And you're thinking, why the hell would you do that and agree to like sign up, help, marry me, to help me with a green card, and you don't want to go to the interview? I don't know. People's personality change, whatnot. If they agree to something, it doesn't mean they sign a contract with you to do A, B, C anyway, right? You can't guarantee that they're going to go to the interview and follow through with that. So just be very careful with that. And aside from that, just get your story straight. Of course, it doesn't mean you don't marry your friend who ends up becoming your lover or significant other like that. But if it's just your homie that you just fist pump kind of deal, probably not a good idea to get married for a green card, file a case. Okay. Hopefully that helps out. And Raja, there's many other scenarios, but it's late. It's very difficult for me to. Yeah. I mean, other things like missed deadline. If you get RFE or NOID, you get missed deadline. Lack of evidence can be a reason, and did not respond to RFE or NOID. Hopefully that helps you out. Hey, Alexis Morales on YouTube. You were detained by immigration when you're a minor. Do you have to put that in your application for citizenship? I mean, you would think they know all that stuff, but I don't recall that being an application for citizenship, but that is on the application for residency. Okay, so since you're a resident right now, sounds like then you're good to go on that. But I mean, if it asks it on the citizenship, then yeah, you do have to mention it. But I don't recall that being on the form. Let's see if I can check that real quick. I'm actually interested. There's so many forms, so it's hard to memorize every single one for me, especially at this hour. And you're on YouTube, so let me just go ahead and share my screen there. Y'all sticking it out with me. Appreciate it. hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of pages, so I'm not going to go through every single page. Let me just type in removal. Okay, yeah, it is on there. Number 36. Well, number 36 means pending, currently pending against you, so it'd be no. But number 35, have you ever been placed in removal? Yes. There's a lot of questions related to this. So we're really starting with number 33, actually. Okay. All right. So good luck. If you want appropriate advice for one-on-one on your situation, you need to talk to an immigration lawyer, and we're happy to guide you. Okay. You need to schedule a meeting. But again, this is one of those scenarios that if you have that type of question, like there's 4 questions about that, something related to removal. Okay, so that's a key that you may want to hire an attorney, just to because you're almost at the finish line. You're almost there to become a U.S. citizen, and then you can explain the details at the interview. Okay. Donna Black, is it compulsory you file 1040 in court for proceedings? Are you talking about the tax return? Um, yeah, I mean, depending what you're applying for in court, removal proceedings. If it's like cancellation removal, anything related like needing to prove good moral character, eventually you want to provide a tax return for sure. But I wouldn't just show up to court with a copy of tax return. That's I mean, I don't know how they do it with people who I mean, I don't want to assume you don't have a lawyer, but yeah, I wonder how they do it with people who don't have a lawyer if they just accept it. Because how we do it, what we follow is what we call the immigration court manual. That's online. You got a cover page, you got a certificate of service at the back end. You got if you got like a lot of or more than one piece of evidence, type of evidence, then we provide a table of exhibits, basically table of contents. So, but I don't know how they if they like reject it if you don't have all that and you don't have a lawyer. But that'd be let me know, okay? A mini, you had an ex who was threatening to lie to immigration that your marriage is fake. He wanted to get back together and cannot stand that you found someone great. Well, I'm happy that you found someone great. You told your husband, and he's also worried. What? Oh, okay, okay. Your new husband's worried about your case. Okay, so here's the deal. We've had inquiries like this as well, clients in this situation. So, number one, if you have a lawyer for your second case, at least, you need to share the details of the first case in way more detail. Of course, this is just YouTube, so it's not much information. You know what? Let me just remove your comment from hide it right here. Um, but you had an ex who was threatening. So, do you know if your ex actually submitted like a letter or anything? If your ex didn't, then then I wouldn't worry in that sense. But if you're more like you don't know for sure, then you definitely want to prove as much evidence as possible for your current marriage. Okay. But in the meantime, if for some reason it comes to find out that USCIS sends you a request for evidence saying, hey, you need to let us know about so and so, um, then likely because your ex provided a letter saying something like that, then you need to be ready for that kind of scenario, okay? And that is having like if you had a joint account with him, your ex before, other type of marriage evidence, have that ready at your disposal. From the if you're wondering like what time period, from the time period that you were married, not after that, of course, because you separated or divorced. So hopefully that helps out. That's the shortest answer I can give, as succinct as possible. But sounds like maybe he didn't. The way you phrased it, maybe he didn't actually. But definitely, I acknowledge the concerns that you may have. Um, yeah, it is. It is frustrating to go through a situation like that. But if you can recall that story or that situation, incident with your ex, and how he threatened, how many times he threatened, if you got proof on your phone, Facebook message, WhatsApp message, something like that, screenshot it, save it ASAP. Okay. That's your first case? Okay, well, that's good then. Oh, he didn't oh, he's a boyfriend. Your second marriage is the first case. Okay. The ex was a boyfriend. Okay, so you didn't actually marry him. Okay, well, then that's fine. You have a work permit so far and no RFE. Great, great. September. But no, you're not aware if he brought it up. Okay. Well, it seems like you could be in a clear because that was September. Now it's what's September, December? 4 months. So it's what, 7 months so far? So maybe you're in a clear, okay? But I do acknowledge those concerns. Soccer lovers, you don't have a court hearing. You don't have a court hearing, but you are in administrative closure. Okay. So you definitely want to update the court whenever you do file. After you file the I-360, I think that was your original question. Then but of course I would recommend having a lawyer for that situation when you're filing VAWA and to reopen your case and get that dismissed. It's really the best time, folks. If y'all got a situation that your case is in court, whether it's active case, pending, or administrative closure, you definitely want to take advantage that that President Biden is the president right now. Who the hell knows what's going to happen in November 2024? Who knows? And who knows? Maybe Trump's going to be in jail. I don't know. That'd be pretty weird if he's still on a ticket. I don't. I wonder how that works. Don't have enough time in the day to research that stuff, but interesting. It would be interesting. Hey, Michael, how long do I think it's going to take for refugee travel document to get after expediting it after approved asylum case? I think you mean the 131. So I have no idea. You're going to have to check USCIS.gov, Google search processing timetable. I usually check for y'all, but it's just way too late. Um, Plus, it sounds like you're just asking how long do I think in general. I don't know if you filed it yet, because you filed it, then we need to know where it's located, because that would provide the most accurate processing times. L Alva, is it okay if the attorney wants to submit affidavit and abuse evidence after RFE? Like, you ready to respond to the RFE, or the deadline already passed? Look, um, if the deadline already passed, then how do I put this? I'm sorry for you, but number two, I wouldn't I wouldn't foreclose the idea. Ooh, he didn't submit. Okay, so my assumption was correct. That's an assumption I did not want to be correct. Okay. Um, like, if for some reason we did something wrong and we didn't submit the evidence timely, we're still gonna file the sucker, okay? And we're gonna ask USCS to show us some grace. Okay. Um, and I had that happen in one of my cases, but different. It was actually the client didn't have the evidence and needed more time to get that evidence, because if I just filed something, it would just be nothing in that client situation. So I did actually. I had some file. Yeah, I did ask in a letter saying ask for more time, and it worked. They gave me, like, I think another 2 months or something. I can't remember exactly. So you definitely want to try. I wouldn't just have your attorney, and hopefully your attorney has the wherewithal to know, like, don't just mail it in to mail it in. They gotta ask for it to provide more time. We call it nunc pro tunc. Okay, it's Latin phrase for if they had the evidence timely, then it would have been approved anyway. So hopefully that helps. Good luck to you. Hopefully it doesn't get denied for that reason. So mail it in ASAP. Alrighty, folks. Vanessa, is that the reason why you got denied? This thing just, TikTok just moved all the way down. So let me see if I can find your other comment here. Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Jay, am I always live this time? No, I'm not. I should not be live this time, honestly. I'm so tired right now. But I love answering questions. Marie, you had no money for attorney and submit asylum due to ignorance. You would then receive the letter. Okay. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's okay, folks. Like, if you didn't have a lawyer at the very beginning, that's totally okay. Um, but if you when you get to a certain situation, um, it's really best to definitely at least consult with an attorney. Have a strategy session when you get a RFE or NOID. And for us, I mean, just to be upfront, I mean, we usually charge about almost the same fee as if we started with your case in the beginning. And that's because we have to review, like, the prior attorney's filing or your filing, to make sure, cross all our T's and dot our I's and make sure everything's correct, or not correct. What was incorrect, right? Is, I guess, what I mean. Um, yeah, let's see here. L Alba on YouTube. Can you schedule a consultation? Absolutely. We call it strategy session. Even on YouTube, I do have a link on there. I think it's called LinkTube or something on that one. And click on the first link. I believe you answer a few, like, 5 questions or so. You can. That's the best way to schedule a session with our team. The first person you speak with is not me. It's not an attorney. Excuse me. It's our cares team. They're not attorneys. I train them every day so they have understanding of the terminology and things like that and the strategies. But they're going to pre-qualify you to meet with an attorney either the same day if they have time, or the next available slot available. Okay. Let's see here. Gavi, is it okay if attorney wants to submit abuse evidence? Okay, maybe that's the same Are you the same person that's on YouTube? Good move getting on YouTube if that's you. Okasua, good to see you again. Will your green card be canceled after N400 has been denied twice? Um, Not that I'm aware of. Okay. It doesn't work like that in terms of canceled. If anything, it could be referral to immigration court. I don't remember the exact timing, especially because it's so late right now. The date on your denial notice. I believe it was fairly recent. But no, just because you're N4, if you get denied N400, by the way, that doesn't necessarily mean you that your resident status or card gets revoked or something. It's a step by step process. If that were to happen, Cassie, how long does it take to withdraw an appeal so a person can be deported? Um, like you mail the withdrawal appeal, like appeal where from court, or is that where you appealed it, or 290B with USCIS? Because if it's like a 290B situation, which I don't think that's what you're referring to, then it's not an automatic type deportation. And really, the same thing with the court. Because if you file an appeal, let's say it's the Board of Immigration Appeals, meaning through court, then that's also not automatic because that also does not mean ICE officers will go to your home or whoever you're talking about, their home or apartment. Doesn't work that way. Like if there's no, and I guess that's what conservatives are worried about or griping about. But even if with enforcement priorities, or they would argue lack thereof, if there's no criminal history, from what we know, um, yeah, ICE doesn't go to people's homes that don't have crimes. They're going to focus on people that have crimes, at least during President Biden's administration. All righty. Thanks for the roses, folks. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. A lot of questions. Thank you so much. L. Arnold. Okay, let me go to L. Arnold. I wish I could, like, what I was trying to do. Yeah, Vanessa, I was trying to find your prior comment. Um, I couldn't find it yet. L. Arnold, where's your question? Yes, L. Arnold. I am reading TikTok. I'm reading almost every platform possible. But I was trying to get a Vanessa. Okay, Vanessa, I found yours. Then I'll get to L. Arnold. My I-130 approved, but 485 denied. Lawyer file your case. Put your DOB in the wrong in the first place. I highly doubt that was the reason that your case got denied because that has nothing to do about inadmissibility unless they somehow tag that with mistaken identity. So you need to look at that 485 denial letter, okay, and see exactly what it says. I know sometimes it can be confusing, so we're happy to take a look just to give you some verification, some peace of mind. Okay, so on TikTok, it's my link to schedule is on the what do you call that? Um, my profile picture. Click that link. Okay, it's just like 5 questions or something. Just upload your document. We'll take a look. Your denial letter. Okay, L. Arnold, what's up? Thanks for the follows, folks. Thanks for sharing the show. If your affirmative asylum case says the next step is an interview with officer with USCS, how long will it take? Probably at least 4 years, given what's been going on since 2016 when President Trump definitely flipped it on its head and made it slower. And plus, a lot more people have entered America and filed for asylum. But yeah, we sue the government for pretty much anything related to immigration. And Well, for asylum cases that are still pending and or waiting for you had the interview and waiting for the decision, but specifically timing wise, in terms of waiting for the interview, we sue when it's at least 4 years pending. Okay, so L. Arnold, how long you been waiting? When was your file, your year of filing at least? You did your fingerprints already? Okay, that's good. Akasua, you, yeah, I'm not good at. I definitely don't profess to be good at multitasking. That's for sure. But thanks, L. Arnold. You're welcome. One more thing. Does that mean through the 4 years you will need to renew your work permit? I believe. I believe the policy memo right now for asylum cases, I think it's 4 years. Is that right? So yeah, you would have to renew again. And if it's based on like C9, I believe it's for 2 years, the work permit. But glad you got the fingerprints done already. Yeah. Um, let's see. Brittany. Oh no. What happened, Brittany? You're talking about your significant other? Okay. Message us, okay? Or email. Email's probably best, I think. Because it but I remember something about your significant other situation. Who else? What y'all got for me? Akeem Saunders on TikTok. I'm just scrolling, I guess you say down. The submission of 485 lock in your age for the purpose of aging out. Um, it's a lot of things, not just the filing of that. In fact, it's a lot of other dates, priority date, the date on the visa bulletin, when your prior date reached, the receipt date of the I-130, and the approval date of the I-130, but not the submission of the 485. But you do need to submit the 485 if you're in the United States with non-immigrant visa right now. If you overstayed and you don't have status right now, and you're concerned about locking in the age, and that sounds like you're been a derivative of a family preference case, I'm just kind of, I guess is this a skill I learned in LSAT? Can like trying to think backwards, I guess you could say, full circle on your situation. So your situation sounds like it's that you need to schedule a meeting with an attorney 101, because it would hate for the situation that you filed at 45 and turns out you needed to, show maintenance of that status and you didn't. Maybe I don't want to assume your situation. Then you could have saved those government fees. Okay. All right, folks. I appreciate it. Okay. If you're wondering how to get in contact with us, you just joined. You're welcome to go on the profile page, click the link or about page, and appreciate it. You'll have a good night. And it is 1:30 Central Time. All right. Y'all know what to do. Follow and have a good night's rest. Take care. Bye bye. Peace.